Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first guide of what hopefully is many of the tutorial series for RGE Builder. Today we go over how to start and the very basics. This is like complete beginner. This is for the absolute beginner, but obviously later on we're gonna go really in depth on how to make some crazy stuff. So, loading in, play, loadout, store, options, forget all of that. You're already on the screen, alright? We go to custom game. Oh my god, now you can have your custom games. Whitelist, this overall is not important at all. You can't even use whitelist, blacklist, or server admins until you buy a private server. But there is a way you can still do this for free, which is pretty simple. You go to current map, you select a map, like let's say open world blank, and you can click launch. And it's totally free. Now, some things to mention. When you press launch, it'll launch everybody in your party. So everyone will be sent to this blank world or your map. Like here, you can see your map, competitive. So keep that in mind. Alright, hello. So back into the game. We're not gonna worry about your map or competitive because you won't have any maps, and well, you could open a competitive map. So just open a map, preferably if you want to actually make a map. We go to open world blank, which will have nothing on it. Now, if you want more than 5 people in a free server, you're going to have to exit out of the game, invite the other four people, and then launch without changing it. This will have everyone in the same server, so you can play with all your friends on one single map. So we're gonna press launch. There's nothing on it. So we're gonna have to open RGE now. It is now time. You unlock it. We're gonna do enable cheats. Enabled. So starting off, we have weather, game mode, file, all this stuff. Console, which you probably have no idea what it does. And then the properties menu, which is very obvious what that does. So before we bombard you with everything, create a part. Just create a part, okay? Move it to position 0, 0, 0 in the properties menu. See, look at that. Position 0, 0, 0. Guess what's gonna happen? We stop falling. Yippee, you've done something. Alright, so starting off, weather. How does this work? Automatic cycle, it's an automatic cycle. So like maybe in the mornings it's probably gonna be foggy. If it's nighttime, it could be random, it could be a thunderstorm, it could be clear skies. It'll just be weather, normal weather. You can also make it permanently clear sky, mono clear sky, overcast, overcast 2, which is a little bit more clouds, a little bit more clouds, fog, really dense fog, rain, dense rain, too much rain, storm 1, storm 2, and storm 3. But we're gonna keep it clear skies, make it simple. And time set day. The day goes from 0 to 24, and 12 is middle of the day. And you can enable and disable the time. Helpful. AI, we will not touch yet until we have something. Game mode. Starting off with the game mode. This is usually stuff you want to configure before you start getting a lot of people in. So, server lock, disabled, enabled. If you bought a private server and you shared the code with other people, you can disable them from joining or just refresh the code. Down/revive enabled. People who are downed cannot be revived. They will just instantly die. No second chances. Enemy compounds. This is if you loaded in open world Platinum 5 map, the actual Ronograd Island, where it'll disable all compounds, all enemy spawns, and they'll basically be just peaceful mode. So, nothing to worry about. HUD enabled. If you disable this, as you can see here, it disables your UI. Of course, it's a little bit bugged, so enabling it again will kind of not enable it for you, but for other people it should enable. So just keep that in mind. After that, we have first person lock. It'll lock you in first person mode. And everyone else in the server automatically. So it could be good if you want a little bit of realism. Next up is vehicle spawning. It just prevents or allows people to spawn in any type of vehicles, which includes helicopter, ground, and aircraft. Friendly fire. Now, this is an annoying one. Friendly fire disabled means there's no friendly fire. You can't kill people. You're all on your own, okay? It's just you versus the AI. Friendly fire squad only means you can only friendly fire with people in your squad. Why would you want that? I don't know. But friendly fire enabled means you can friendly fire with anyone, regardless on whether they're in your squad or not. So adds some realism to the world. Squad changing, it just determines whether people can change their squad or not. You know, including private squads. You know, maybe you want everyone join red team, and you want them all to stay on red team. So you can turn that on. Now, you're probably wondering what set blue means, set green, set neutral. I mean, you could probably understand based on the remove spawns, but basically, you click one of these, and it moves, not deletes, but moves the spawn to wherever you've clicked. And then if you click remove spawns, it removes all of these spawns back to the start at 0, 0, 0. Teleport selection. This is one you're gonna have to go down here to these 5 little buttons. You want to click players, click the person you want to teleport, and then click teleport selection. It's kind of difficult to test out here, but you can teleport people. Click their name and you click teleport, and then your next click will be where you teleport them. So like I could teleport myself in the void. That's a better example. Yeah, maybe you need to teleport someone to you with their inventory still intact. Maybe you need to teleport someone in the void. Who knows? Only you would know. So yeah, could be pretty helpful. Moving on to home. This is the main tab you're probably going to be on. We're going to start off with we're going to start with the middle here. These cameras, these 4 camera settings. Full screen, obviously, you would think it makes your screen full screen, but it makes it's like a cinematic mode basically. Like you're still in RGE. You're still in the game editor. Just the UI doesn't show, and this is more shown if we open up a studio camera, which is the camera you're usually gonna have unless you walk around and do stuff. But you can go to full screen, and now you can fly around with no UI. So you could record videos of people doing stuff, do some pretty cool stuff, you know. Moving on. How the studio camera works: the speed is the speed of which you move, and holding shift, you move half that speed that you have set. Zoom works when you scroll. And then next up is the cinematic camera. This one is definitely for movies, so pressing L to enter full screen. We have a little pan, you know, it's really cinematic, and we can even change all of these with these settings. I heavily recommend you mess around with these and get something you're comfortable with, and even make stuff higher quality than it actually is by messing around with these settings. So that could be pretty good for you. Wow. And lastly, we have the top-down camera, which is a very, very weird camera. It's top-down. You can rotate by drag and drop, and it is. I mean, I guess it can be helpful for some people, but I personally don't like it. Let's move on to parts, and then how to actually edit the parts. So, okay, you know how to move around. You know how to make it daytime. How do I actually make the map? Now that I'm in a world. So, we're going to create these parts. we're gonna set our move to 1. Now the move is the rate of which you move an object at all times, or the increment basically. So if I set to move to 1, all objects will move exactly 1 stud, if possible. So looking at this here, we have 5 objects. So we can have a wedge, which is just a triangle. Corner wedge, it's like 1/4 of a pyramid. The sphere could be very helpful. The square could be very helpful. And the cylinder could be very helpful. These other two could also be just as helpful, but you know, it all depends on what you build. These are the main shapes you're gonna use to build. So you can basically build anything. So you can move them around naturally. And I'm assuming you've already tested out that by pressing 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can do more than just move a part. You can actually scale the part. So let's scale the part. Let's get some terrain in here. Come on, do something. Make something. It's like a tutorial world, I guess. So you can really mess around with these. So now that we've tested that, it's now time we test the rotate tool. So we're just gonna do a little challenge for you. Get some of these corners and just rotate them to make a pyramid. And if the camera feels weird, just try to get used to the camera. I probably use studio camera, not the cinematic camera. That's a pretty big mistake on my part. But as you can see, we can select all these guys, this beautiful pyramid of ours, and increase the size. And now we have a pyramid. Why you would need this, I don't know, but you know, I actually don't know, but hey, you could take some cover behind it. So yeah, I'm just gonna use studio camera. Okay. So you can rotate, you can scale, you can move. Rotate, obviously 5 degrees is 5 degrees, and then you could set it to 15, 32, 0.001 if you want to be really precise. It's your choice. The move, just as much, you can just go set it to 0.1. Maybe you want to build out 0.1. Maybe there's just a little square you want to fill in, right there. You know, maybe you just want that, and then you don't want it going over the edge, but you want it going here, and then, you know, maybe that's the whole build. This is it. It's just one angle, and this would look really weird if you did it at scale 1. So you can always change your scale. Most time people would do 2, 1, 0.5, 0.2, 0.1, and then after 0.1 you get 0.05 and then 0.025. But hopefully we'll not have to resort to those options. And if you do, just don't worry about it. Just try to do simple movements, because, you know, complex stuff like building the Eiffel Tower might take time. So maybe you have to use those movements. I don't know what I'm saying. Moving on to file. So you have your beautiful build. All right, we're about to reach the end of the tutorial. You have your build. You want to save it. You know, it looks really nice, really beautiful. You're so proud of it. You're so proud of it. I know, it's crazy, but it's time you save the build. Please save your builds. Okay, we're gonna do save as. Okay, boom, tutorial. Type in the name you want to save it as. You can save it as Open World Vietnam. You can name it. I don't have any names right now, but so make sure your name doesn't get censored. But tutorial. We're gonna misspell tutorial. See, okay. Sometimes you gotta misspell stuff just so the game takes it and not scam you. We'll say you're saying racial slurs at it, so keep that in mind. obviously, what if I edit my map after it? Okay, because your map is currently its own thing, right? Over there, it's its own thing. Like, you can select it, but how do you update it afterwards? Well, it's simple. Let's say I update it with this wall and another wall, like here, and then another one here, and then I connect it with something here and there. Let's see, now we have some more walls, but I want to add it to our tutorial world. I don't want to just make a new map. That's just slightly more updated. So we're going to click save, and it'll save to the tutorial world because you are currently in the tutorial world. Well, tutorial now. And obviously, let's say you have two maps. You can load them by just typing in the name tutorial. And this map takes a nanosecond to load because guess what? It's not very big. Next up we have allow load copy, allow save copy, allow saving. This only happens if you're working with other people. Basically allows offline saving. People can save when you're not there. Allow save copy. People can save the map to their own file, to their own character, so that they can load it whenever they want on their worlds. And allow load copy will allow people to load it whenever they want on their worlds. Obviously these are, I believe they're all off. Yeah, they're all automatically off, and the only time this would, people can copy your map is if you give them admin, which it's doing the admin panel, so yeah. Next up is save model and delete model. This will solely work with parts, but let's say this beautiful mess of parts right here, you just want to save, you know. Now, we're going to actually go into the world space. The world space just moves the movement to the world space, like the world XYZ. So that's just like, if you want it to be like on the grid, you can do that. I don't know why it's not really working here. But we can group our objects and ungroup them. So we're going to click group. Now we have a bunch of group objects right here. Okay, let's say, so this is my really nice model that I think everybody should see and be happy about. So we're going to go back to file. We're going to go here. We're going to click save model. We're going to type in what we want the model to be. We're going to do model. We're going to call it model. Yeah. We save the model as model. Now, where do you find this model? The asset browser. We're not going to go into the console. This is just complete other day. You get asset browser and you go to saved. I don't know if you can see that. Root. We have bot, prefab, and saved. Saved is all your models. This is all your models. This is the PL5 models, and then this is just bots. So yeah, that's a little configuration. So coming over here, we should see it somewhere. There it is. There is our model. And now we can place it however we want, whenever we want, and we can even transfer it to other people's worlds if they give us admin. So now we have a whole bunch of stuff that we can just add around. Obviously, the part limit for the save model is about 2,000, I believe. I think it's exactly 2,000. But 2,000 parts, you can do a lot with that, and you can always make more. You can have a max, I believe, of 50 models, I believe. So you should be fine in terms of part count. It's not something you should worry about. Unless you're making a big map, then please optimize it, but I'll go into that later. So that's the basics. You've done it. You can now start your building process and make a really cool looking map that people can hopefully enjoy and not rage over. Yippee. I'll see y'all in the next one.